Part of the appeal was location, location, and location. I knew that this is not a residential street. This is the gateway to Erlanger.
Letting businesses who want that traffic, letting businesses come in and take over some of those houses and improve the structures, improve the look, and be a vital part of our community is just a wonderful thing.
Erlanger is probably one of the most business-friendly environments in all of northern Kentucky. We thought, why not invest in those homes, provide money from the city to start your dream.
To encourage business development on and around Commonwealth Avenue, the City of Erlanger offers something known as a CAP grant. Eligible businesses in the residential to office conversion zone and mixed use zone can obtain a 50% reimbursement up to $40,000 for exterior and interior capital improvements in converting a residential property to an office or constructing a new office building. All told, it maxes out at a $20,000 investment from the city.
When people leave here, they come in, they just rave about this property, and I think we could have them up and down the Commonwealth corridor with some effort and some work from the city and some developers and realtors that could see the same vision that I have.
I see Commonwealth as a main street. So it is the main thoroughfare through our city, and it has the potential to become an economic driver. We've seen that with Bob McNichol's property and his financial business. We've seen that with Rose Gynecology. These are two exceptional examples of what the possibilities are for all of Commonwealth.
We believe in this district, we believe in you as an investor, and we really want to see that come to fruition.
The entire time that I've been involved in the city of Erlanger, I have always heard that our department is one that is revered. It is one that is held in high esteem.
We thought with our 75th anniversary being this year, what better time to, get all the officers out together, and we'll celebrate the 75th anniversary, and we'll also do our national night out and kind of, just be in the community and celebrate with everybody.
I think that's one of the most important things that we can do as public servants, and law enforcement is absolutely crucial, is interacting with your community on a regular basis so that when it is an emergency and it is one of the worst days of your life, you're seeing somebody that you're familiar with.
One of the things that we want to showcase is Erlanger Police Department is cutting edge in training. We're cutting edge in the equipment that we have.
But the canines are always the fan favorite. I mean, officers are great. Canines are like, whew.
The officers that we hire, just them personally are great people.
There is a loyalty and a support system that are in place in the city of Erlanger that give the police officers the confidence that is necessary in order to go out and do their job the most effectively and compassionately as they possibly can.
We are very, very proud of our officers. Thanks everybody for coming out to our 75th anniversary.
the entire time that I've been involved in the city of Erlanger, I have always heard that our department is one that is revered. It is one that is held in high esteem.
We thought with our 75th anniversary being this year, what better time to, get all the officers out together, and we'll celebrate the 75th anniversary, and we'll also do our national night out and kind of, just be in the community and celebrate with everybody.
I think that's one of the most important things that we can do as public servants, and law enforcement is absolutely crucial, is interacting with your community on a regular basis so that when it is an emergency and it is one of the worst days of your life, you're seeing somebody that you're familiar with.
One of the things that we want to showcase is Erlanger Police Department is cutting edge in training. We're cutting edge in the equipment that we have.
But the canines are always the fan favorite. I mean, officers are great. Canines are like,
the officers that we hire, just they're them personally are great people.
there is a loyalty and a support system that are in place in the city of Erlanger that give the police officers the confidence that is necessary in order to go out and do their job the most effectively and compassionately as they possibly can.
We are very, very proud of our officers. Thanks everybody for coming out to our 75th anniversary.
I'm excited. I've been ready since 5 o'clock.
Summer send-off! Woo!
I think it's super important to have a signature event where it calls upon every single person in your community to come together.
Summer send-off is what Erlanger is all about.
3, 2, 1, go! Have fun!
I love 5Ks, especially community 5Ks, because you can see everyone and you can like make so many connections while you run. Running is such a supportive group. Everywhere I go, everyone's like, oh my gosh, hey, and they recognize me and I make friends.
That was the Summer Send-Off 5K, woo!
It was really nice to see a lot of people here. I wasn't sure what the turnout would be like. It's nice to have a lot of people active in the community doing stuff.
It's tough. When you start walking the hills of Erlanger as a kid, you do not realize they're hills till you become an adult.
Erlanger is all about the Summer Send-Off.
It is. It's super cool. I love festivals that start with the 5K because it's a way that brings everyone out here early in the morning and then everyone can stay together. Like you make your friends with the 5K and then you can hang out with your community.
It was nice. It made it feel pretty comfortable. I've run 5Ks before. I ran cross country in high school, so it was a little different than that, but it was nice to be able to be where I'm familiar with, because I've run around these streets plenty of times, so it's nice to be able to stay here, I guess.
All right, it is 7 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and get started. I now call the October 1st, 2024 regular meeting of the City Council to order. Our invocation this evening is given by B.J. Donahue from the Erlanger Baptist Church. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to give you guys a couple verses this evening as you begin. We are in a political season, and no doubt very fun for all of you, all of us. We count down the days till it's over, and we can get, back to business. But in the midst of that, there's a couple verses from the book of Proverbs written by Solomon, who is attested to be the wisest man, that God gave him great wisdom. And if you haven't read the book of Proverbs, I would highly encourage it. But this is what it says in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 17. The first to plead his case seems right, until another comes and examines him. A couple verses above that it says, he who gives an answer before he hears, it is folly and shame to him. I'm a father of 5. You can imagine the arguments that are brought to me. The plaintiff, the defendants, they're all there. And whoever gets to dad first, it's very easy for that to color anything else that comes to me. And so I quickly latch on and I'm ready. This has happened. Now, you get fooled a couple times when you start to go, I'm not so sure you have that exactly right. She didn't just wail off and hit you for no reason. Let's hear from your sister. And I would get the rest of the story, and then I would still have to decipher whose truth is most accurate and which one am I going to go with. And most of the time it was somewhere in the middle of the two. As you guys do what you do, it is very easy for us to come with a certain predisposed idea or thought because we've had that maybe ingrained in us. It was the first voice that spoke to us. Maybe even it's someone very close to us. And so we come into conversation with all of that. And I just want to encourage you again, in the midst of the decisions that you make on behalf of a city. Last time I was here encouraging you and reminding you that you all represent groups of the community, and that's why you're here, to be able to be advocates for them. But at the same time, you guys are a representative body that have been called together to hear, to make wise decisions, not to make presumptions before you are able to come together and do what is best and right for this community. And so just a constant reminder to you, because it is easy for me to get set in my ways or to know which child I'm going to go ahead and rubber stamp believe versus the other one, knowing that that can sometimes be abused. But when we come into here, you guys are dealing with things that maybe you do have a predisposition against or for. And maybe there's something you need to hear. And that's why you're all here. And that's why people will come and stand before you. And what you need is wisdom to be able to get past what you bring to the table to allow all of that to be considered, to make the best decision for the future of this community. And for that, I'm thankful that you serve in that capacity to make those decisions, but it is a burden to bear and a responsibility to bear. And so I want to pray for you as you begin tonight. Father, I thank you for each one who sits here tonight as they participate in the work of this community. I thank you for the responsibility tasked to each one by the constituents, for the opportunity that they have to make decisions that do not just affect us right now, but affect generations. Father, there may be some things here tonight that are discussed. There may be things in the future, no doubt, that will be discussed, concerning which maybe a council member has a very strong opinion one way or the other. And it may not be because of the facts. It may be because of the messenger. It may be because of something that they grew up with. And so I just pray, Lord, a wisdom for this group to shepherd this community well, to see after the needs of this community best. Give them wisdom, give them ears to hear, make them slow to speak, so that they are not in folly, they are not in shame, but they have wisely considered, and they see the right path, and they make that decision for the people of this community. We thank you for the opportunity to serve. We thank you for the opportunity to serve you. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Okay. I ask that you rise for the pledge, please. All right, Jen, if you could take roll, please.
Ms. Nicely?
Present.
Mr. Cahill?
Present.
Ms. Kyle?
Here.
Mr. Skidmore?
Here.
Mr. Hermes? Ms. Skidmore? Here. Ms. Reckers?
Here.
Ms. Jasper Lucas?
Here.
Ms. Wilson?
Thank you. Okay, you've received a copy of the minutes for the September 3rd, 2024 regular council meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to be made at this time? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion that we adopt as presented. Ms. Reckers, Ms. Kyle. Okay, hold on one second. We'll do the minutes first. That's okay. All right, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? All right, motion carried. All right, so you've received the agenda for this evening. I'm noticing Ms. Kramer's signed. So on the ordinance number 1, fiscal year 25 budget amendment, not 24. Okay, are there any other additions or corrections that need to be made at this time, or additions?
Sure.
Just make a motion with the change to approve it. Ms. Reckers, Mr. Cahill, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right. So our first special presentation this evening is our business spotlight. And we have Greg from Coca-Cola here with us. Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
So Mr. Cleaner here is from Coca-Cola, one of our larger employers in the city of Erlanger. We are very thankful that he's here today. He also invited us pretty recently on Saturday to their 5-year anniversary here of opening up in Erlanger. So Mr. Cleaner, I'll give you a little bit of an introduction and a little bit of a runway, and then I'll let you kind of talk. He is actually the first permanent employee at that Coca-Cola distribution center in the city of Erlanger. So he has been with Coke for 7 years, been in Erlanger for 5. We're very thankful that you're here and for the invitation on Saturday.
I got that right? Okay. Well, first of all, I have no idea how I'm going to follow the invocation. That was excellent work. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And thank all of you council folks and city employees and elected officials for having me out here. It's really great to be able to share what we do. As Mark had said, we've been in the area for 5 years. Prior to that, we were in a very cramped facility over in Cincinnati. We recognized an opportunity to pull away from that, to find some green space, and to build things out very differently. On a very high level, Coca-Cola Consolidated covers 14 states. We have 85 warehousing facilities across that territory, 12 production facilities where we can and bottle those products that hopefully you all love so much. And we have 480 folks that are working out of our Erlanger distribution center. Now, we don't see all those folks every day. A lot of those folks are sales folks and drivers and merchandisers, so you're going to see them out at Kroger's and Speedway and places like that you're going to be at. But then locally inside of that building, every day, 3 shifts a day, 7 days a week, we have about 120 people rotating through there. We've got a couple of VPs that report in from the sales side. We've got some senior directors on distribution and on warehousing. And then, of course, we've got a fleet of people out there that are just making the business run. And so what we do in that building is we take full pallets of light goods. So like from our production center, we'll get a pallet full of fridge pack classic Coke and it comes over, but that's not how you all want to buy it. And that's not how Kroger's presents it. So we have to break all those down, reorganize them into pallets of unlike goods, where maybe you've got 20 cases of this and 10 cases of that and 13 cases of something else. We put those onto trucks and we send them out into the world. And so what we are doing in this location that is somewhat unique in our industry, as I'm sure you guys are all aware, there are about 1 million different types of packages you can get for Coke. They can be little bottles, big cans, little cans, different flavors. You can buy 24 packs, fridge packs, all that stuff comes through. And when we go through and do those things, we're working with some companies that we have been able to automate a lot of that. And when a lot of times people hear automation, there's a fear of loss of work. There's a fear of loss of manpower, of people resources. And we are not approaching it from that perspective. And not only are we not approaching it from that perspective, we haven't found that that's the case. What we're doing is decreasing our injuries, decreasing OSHA calls. We are making it so that folks are working reasonable hours. Over in Duck Creek, the work that we do here, we could not do in a 24-hour period. Now we do it on average in 16. So our customers are happier, our employees are happier, we get more done with less resources in a safer way. And so we've been very successful with that. And I'm very grateful to the folks in the city of Erlanger for that opportunity. You guys, I don't know who's involved with the initial development, but that facility wouldn't be there. It would still be an empty cinema, if you guys all remember back that long, if you guys hadn't been involved with it. We really appreciate the work you're doing with the roads, Donaldson, and just our entryway into Erlanger. These are really critical pieces of infrastructure that have been kind of hobbling us actually since we started. And the fact that you guys are working with the Kentucky Department of Transportation to make all this stuff move forward is great. In fact, the last time I was in this room was probably close to 2 years ago. With Mark's predecessor and some folks from the Kentucky Department of Transportation and our neighbors, Profetti and Levi's, and we were being given the super scary news that there was going to be a whole lot of construction and all those semis that we want to get in and out might be delayed, which, as I'm sure you guys can imagine, for us is pretty much, that's the end of the road. I mean, if we can't deliver it, then it doesn't happen. And we were encouraged by the city that we're going to do everything they can to ensure that we're not shut down. And so far, I'm really proud of what you guys have done in conjunction with your contractors, because I've only gotten minor complaints, and the promise that was given to us has been delivered on higher than what we expected. So we knew there were going to be some delays and challenges, but it's been managed very well. And I also hear that Mark is telling me there's going to be a dog park now right down the street from us and some trails. So I can't wait to see that stuff unleashed. I think, no pun intended, that really was an accident. But I can't wait to see that stuff happening, because we've got folks that might want to go for a walk in the middle of a shift. I see our neighbors in the community down the road there, they're walking their dogs on that road right now anyway, and I cannot imagine them being happier to have somewhere to go that isn't in the middle of industrial traffic to be able to take advantage of that. And the last thought that I've got, I do want to thank our fire and police help and support and partners. You guys have been absolutely fantastic to us. One of the highlights of my interactions with the city of Erlanger is getting to have the fire department over once a year, and they come through to do a fire inspection, but it really turns into this great collaborative conversation about what are their access routes, what happens if somebody gets hurt here, what are the pieces of equipment that are challenging or potentially injuring. And I can tell, because it's the same people coming back year after year, seeing the facility and kind of developing these plans. We've only had to call a couple of times on that front, which is really good, but the response has been fast and the results have been really solid, and our employees have been safe in the process. The same goes for the police. Fortunately, I don't have to call you guys nearly as often. But we have had a couple of occasions where over-the-road drivers maybe have gotten a little bit testy with their expectations, and every time we've called, your folks have come, they've been professional, they've solved the problem without any kind of issues. And so that's kind of my parting piece. I just want to thank you guys for everything you do. Really appreciate it. We're very, very pleased to be a part of this community, and if there's anything we can do to help out, please let us know. That's all I have.
Well, Your words were beautiful. Thank you. It's wonderful to hear. I also want to give a shout out to Morris. I mean, Morris Howard,
absolutely. Of
holy
course.
mackerel, he couldn't be a cooler person. I actually just texted him a little bit ago and said he's the greatest person on the planet. So you can tell him that.
I will let him know.
broadcasted it to the world.
Yeah, Morris is fantastic.
His assistance at the summer send-off, I mean, he's been there since the very beginning. It's our signature event. He's been there, he sets up the entire truck, he brings his whole crew, they pass out Coke and your guys' products all night long, and they party with us, and it's 4 years running, so.
That's awesome. Yeah, Morris is really, he's the right guy for that job. He's got a passion for giving back to the community. They put him in the right spot, and we could not be more blessed to have him there.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you, and I do have a little something for you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's amazing. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
too.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Steve, how are you? Great. Welcome. Would you like to take the podium? We have a special guest star today. Steve Ellis was our wonderful photographer and videographer at the Summer Send-Off, a sponsor and Erlanger resident, and just an all-around brilliant guy.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So I'll just take it from here, just to piggyback a little bit on what the mayor said about Steve. I got to work with Steve a couple of months gearing up towards summer send-off. Erlanger resident, as mayor mentioned, but we got to see a lot of his work. Great drone operator, captured the entire firework display that I can't wait to unveil. Some of the deliverables that Steve did, but just really accomplished drone photography, videography, and he's right here in Erlanger. And so we just wanted to take a minute, Steve, give you an opportunity to kind of tell a little bit about your business here, and I just wanted to give you public kudos for the work that you've done, and can't wait for the rest of council to see it.
Well, thank you so much. I'm excited for everybody to see it as well. I'm trying to eliminate soft drinks. All I can think about is an ice cold Coke right now. And but it was an honor to do the video, the photography for the signature event in my hometown. I've been a resident for 40 years of Erlanger. I live in the same house I grew up in, bought it off my parents, and then our kids are kind of showing some interest in maybe purchasing off us someday. So maybe we're a third generation home. So, but to be able to do what I did in my hometown for the signature event was pretty awesome. Mark's been great. Zach was great to work with. Kara's been great. It's just been an awesome all-around thing for me in the business. I was a longtime banker for 22 years and decided I had a midlife crisis and start my own business, and always had a passion for photography and video, and got my drone license to fly, and feel like I could fly an F-22 now. But the 107 test was pretty tough, but it's been awesome, and you guys have been so great to me. I can't thank you enough. The city, the employees. Luckily, I don't need the police or fire too much either, so that's nice. I've known Kyle for a long time. We grew up together. Fun story, I broke his mother's window with a baseball when I was, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, 10 years old, I can't remember, but it's awesome. Yeah, for sure. We were a lot younger back then, a lot less gray hairs, but I sincerely appreciate everything. I'm really excited for you guys to check out the video and see it, and really proud of it, and really proud of our city, so thank you very much.
And Steve, I wanted to also mention, if you guys have noticed, the beautification banners from earlier this year, and that will go up again, most of the photography was done by Steve. So beautiful pictures of Erlanger.
Thank you. It was so awesome to see that coming down Commonwealth. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, my whole hometown. So we love Erlanger. Never plan on leaving. So thank you, guys.
Thank you, Steve. right. Our final special presentation this evening is our proclamation for Arbor Day. To all to whom these presents shall come. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed a special day for planting trees. Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees. Trees can reduce the erosion of topsoil, lower our heating and cooling costs, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. Trees are a renewable resource, giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and other wood products. Trees increase property value, enhance economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our homes. The City of Erlanger encourages all residents and business owners to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands by planting and caring for trees in our celebration of Arbor Day. Through the dedication of Public Works, the City's Beautification Task Force, and the Urban Forest Commission, the City of Erlanger was awarded the designation of Tree City USA in 2022. The City of Erlanger continues to honor Arbor Day by using trees as a part of beautification process throughout the city. Now, therefore, I, Jessica Fetty, Mayor of the City of Erlanger, Kenton County, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim October 5th, 2024, to be Arbor Day in Erlanger, and do commend this observance to all of our citizens, given under my hand and the seal of the City of Erlanger on this day of October 1st, 2024. All right, and the Arbor Day celebration is on Saturday. In the timing, do we have the time?
It's Saturday at Flagship Park, 10 to 1. We'll have giveaways, we'll provide lunch, we'll have a tree demonstration planting put on by the crews, and then we'll plant about 17 trees along that hillside as you enter Flagship. If you remember, there's a lot of undergrowth vegetation in that area. We cleared out earlier this spring, and we're going to add about 17 trees to that hillside. So that'll all be done on Saturday with the help of volunteers and city crews.
Great, thank you so much, Kevin. Not Peter, you're Peter. Your team does such a good job of getting all of the sponsorships and all of the prizes that you guys give away. It's pretty awesome. So if you're available and you're in town on Saturday, please join them. All right, so our comments of those other than council members, we have Mr. McClanahan. Did you want to speak?
You're
welcome.
My name is Charles McClanahan. I lived on Hubbard Avenue since 1964. I believe that makes 60 years. Me and my wife have been married for 69 years. We're still together. What I'm here for is all this speeding on Hubbard Avenue. It's terrible. When I moved here, the city was small. That's the reason I moved here. But it's getting so big now, I don't know where the city officials could really take care of it, to be honest with you. It's my opinion. So, your sister city across 25 have things across the road where let's cut down the speeders. Well, with these new cars they have, the small cars they have today, with the front wheel drive, they can drive in a lot of snow. You don't have to push off the snow on the street. And it is a residential street. There's no question about it, because we have the bus picks up and drops off kids. They're having younger people buy and move in. So it's going to get dangerous as time goes by. The only thing I can really tell you about is one morning I heard one rev up down the Division Street, and he went past my house so fast I couldn't hardly tell what it was. I don't know where he's trying to car out or what the deal was, but there was a purple car just now before we got here, went down the street towards Crescent Springs, just to fly. They must be driving at least 40 to 50 miles an hour. I understand the police cannot be in that position at all times, but speed bumps can. If speed bumps is not liable, cameras are. And I'm sure the city can afford putting cameras up to checking all these speeders going down Albert Avenue. It was, like I said, it was a small city. When I moved here in '64, I enjoyed it, and it was small. We had a big tractor and trailer go down the street this morning. It had ice cream advertisement on the sides of it. Instead of coming in on the other road, to Albert Avenue. So there has to be something done, people, because I'm not going to live that much longer. I'm 92 years, would soon be 92 years old. My wife will be 91 in January. So for the younger people, I'm sort of looking out for these people that's moving into our street, be taken care of and not having the kids run over. There's kids that run bicycles. So, like I said, I know the police can't be there at all times, but other things can be. I guess that's enough my speech.
Well, we can do something about it. We can put the radar signs up, okay? You okay?
Okay, thank you. I know something has to be done. It's just,
okay. I'll talk with Chief about it, okay? Can I help you?
They just, some of them cars just.
I'll make a comment on his complaint right now. If anybody else has anything, just let me know. One thing we're doing is currently and in the future, can you hear me okay?
I can hear
you. Okay, your son can fill you in. So what we can commit to is, for sure, is going out and doing a traffic study. So, what we've done is we started here in just recent weeks, and we've had traffic counters out in place to actually monitor traffic, direction, speed, time of day, so on and so forth. And then once we're done with the particular street we're on, we'll move over to your street and maybe do the same thing there, just to kind of get a good baseline of information on exactly what's going on and when it's going on. And then based on that, then we can maybe start looking at some corrective action, maybe some targeted enforcement, and maybe we have to go beyond that. But what I can commit to you is that we'll start looking at that street and then collecting data here in the next maybe less than a month or so. Does that sound good? All right.
Run the radio down there and get up that much speed.
It's amazing what people will do.
I know. Policeman has been there before, but once a person, I do it myself, once I see a car, I slow down. Probably all you guys do too. So.
Yeah, we've been doing it all of our lives. Yeah, Jennifer.
Sorry about that.
The only question I was going to ask is what his address is on Holbert, and he doesn't have to give that out loud, but, oh, you have it on the sign-in sheet. I just didn't, because Holbert's a lengthy, there's some length to Holbert, and I just wanted to know what part of Holbert, if there was a specific part of Holbert that he was concerned about.
It stretches without a stop sign.
That's kind of what I was guessing, was that it was where there's no stop signs, because people race between stop signs over there too, so.
And we'll take a look at it holistically as far as the traffic study, the entire street. So we'll, it might have to be, we might have to deploy our equipment, maybe multiple locations, so that way we get a snapshot of the whole street.
Well, it's a 3,100 block of Hallward now.
All right, we'll take care of you.
Thank you. All right, that concludes public comment. My mayor's report, I just want to commend everybody that was involved in the summer send-off. It was just a tremendous event. It's the opportunity for all of us to come together, all of our staff, our citizens, our business owners and leaders. It's just a wonderful community event. Thank you. Very family friendly. I know that those of you that were there, I'm sure you saw all the kids having a blast. So I know my kids were running ragged. So thank you for everybody and their participation. Thank you for all of our sponsors. We could not do it without you. Every single one of them is absolutely critical. So thank you. Thank you. All right, our city administrator's report, Mr. Glenn.
Okay, Mayor, thank you. Just on that same note with the summer send-off, here in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be meeting with all staff in all departments to kind of do a wrap-up of the summer send-off and the 5K run, and then to start the planning for next year's event. So if there's something that you all seen that you liked or things that you'd like to see done better, just please let me know so that way we can kind of get it into our planning as we already start looking towards next year. Just thinking about events and things like that, we got a lot of things going on. We had a summer send-off. We had the Cahill Commons ribbon cutting all in September. Here coming up in October, we have the groundbreaking for the dog park, October the 23rd, and that's going to be at 10 a.m. And then Mark is going to be doing a lot of marketing and getting the word out, and you'll see a lot more information coming your way on that event. We're still planning on Public Works ribbon cutting for their new facility in November. We can't tie down an exact date yet because it's not yet known. They're still finishing up a few things, and Kevin will report on that. So once we kind of know exactly when that'll be, we'll pass that date out, but we're hoping to get that in November. Exciting news on December. So December 3rd, we're planning to do the grand opening of the depot. So everything was you all funded the depot improvements. That's ongoing, and we'll be doing the grand opening. So we have our new staff member in place working on inventorying and getting things ready for that. And it's going to be a Christmas theme. So, of course, it's going to be a Christmas theme. It's December. So, and then we're going to follow that up December 6th with our tree lighting event that we do annually, which is the toast of the town, I do believe. And of course, also in October is Kevin's Arbor Day, which is a great event. He's really stepped it up and turned it into a fantastic event, and it's our 3rd annual, so we do a fantastic job with that. Let's not forget that the council meeting, November 5th, was canceled, and we're rescheduling that for the 12th at 5:30. Thanksgiving's coming up on the 28th, so we'll be closed the 28th and 29th for Thanksgiving. And then lastly, kind of circling back to the traffic counter. So on Doe Ridge Drive, I know a couple council members have received phone calls on like kind of what's going on out there. So we received a complaint from a homeowner who said she was representing several other homeowners out there, and they're frustrated with the speed of the traffic and so on and so forth. So we went out, we met with the homeowner and kind of talked about some options and things that we're going to do, and we have since met with VOX and contracted them to do a traffic study. So they have the equipment on hand currently. So they went out and put that traffic counter in place place and have collected all the data for a couple weeks. So the traffic counter's back down now. They've got it in office, and they're going to be, collecting the data, then meeting with us to kind of go over exactly what is really happening out there. I think, that we do have a situation. It's a long stretch of road with not a whole lot of breaks, and it's nice and straight. So I'm sure the speeds are getting up there, and I'm sure that what they're seeing is accurate. So once we have the hard data, though, we intend on coming up with some solutions, meeting out there with the property owners. We'll invite everybody to have a little bit of on-site, like a public workshop, which we've done many times now over the last several years, just so we can get all their information and they can hear what we have gathered as well. So, and I think that's a great step. This is the first one we've done. Kevin and his staff are currently looking at purchasing the equipment, and we're kind of narrowing it down, and hopefully we'll be getting it here in the next several months, depending on whether this is a time, we had to do it in certain times of the year, so that way it does, snow and inclement weather doesn't affect the traffic speed. So hopefully we'll get it this year. If not, we'll be ready to go in the spring and have a whole, year next year to start hitting streets like this gentleman's and, and different things like that. And what our intent will be is to continually have that out, be responsive to complaints as they come in, and then when we don't have a complaint-driven situation, then we'll be proactive on a prioritization list of our higher traffic areas and working our way down. And it'll be years and years and years we'll continue to do this before we have good traffic data on every street. But it'll be nice in the end that when people can call in, residents call in, we can pull it up on the computer and say, well, this is what's really happening, and we kind of have a good snapshot of that. So it's a great new program, but I know a few of you got some calls as far as inquiries on what's going on, and so that's it. And and I think it's going to be a great program to get back out there and actually meet with the residents and exchange information. Any questions? Yeah, Rebecca.
Do you know when you anticipate having the public workshop? I have multiple interested parties who would want as much information in advance notice as possible.
Oh, yeah. What kind of advance notice? A couple weeks, a month? Or, I don't know when.
I don't think a month is necessary, but it just publicized similarly to the Cherry Hill.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll treat it exactly like the Cherry Hill. And when will we get this from VX? I don't know if it'll be in the next couple weeks. I would anticipate us having everything done here in October and be able to go out in early November and get this thing done. Yeah, Jennifer.
You had said November 12th for our special meeting, but I had emailed Sherry and said November 19th, and she said November 19th at 5:30. So I didn't know. I just wanted to clarify. Is it the 12th or the 19th?
I had it down on the 12th. I'll double check, and then I'll send the notice out to everybody. And Sherry's not here right now. She's not feeling well, so.
That's fine. I wanted to make sure I had it on my calendar, so I emailed her last week because I had forgotten what exactly we had decided to do, and she said the 19th, so that's why. I just wanted to make sure.
We'll go back and get the
Thank you.
clarification. Sorry if I'm wrong.
Oh, no, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure I had it right on my calendar.
All right, any other questions?
Rebecca, do you remember?
All right, thank you.
Did you have it on your calendar? It's on my calendar as November 12th at 5:30, but do you remember?
Kind of went back and forth, I think.
I think it was the 12th at 5:30.
5:30 would be ideal.
Yeah.
The 12th, not the 19th, before the caucus meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. We'll still have a caucus meeting on the 19th. All right. Mr. Gatlin, City Attorney's report.
I have nothing tonight, Mayor.
Mr. Quinn, Capital Projects.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works Facility, I think we're rounding third and headed for home, I'm hoping, on this this project, but they're going to be doing final painting on the interior of the admin building. The salt building is completed. The maintenance facility is completed. So we got about 3 more pours of concrete. to do, so we're hoping to get that wrapped up probably here in the next couple weeks. And then carpet will be being laid, and then hopefully here in the next few weeks we'll be receiving our furniture and installation with that. Street projects, Theodore is working over on, Wrigler is working over on Theodore. That's a blacktop overlay. And then Hayden and Yeager, Jefferson has that. They look to start that in mid-October. We do have a public workshop this Thursday for that project at the Public Works facility on Jack Shaven. It's from 8 to 11 and then from 1 to 6. So any of the residents have any questions or anything, we'll be there to answer those, but they're more than welcome to stop by. This week we are starting our fall cleanup. This starts tomorrow and runs through Saturday. The hours are 12 to 7, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then Saturday is 8 to 2. So they can bring their debris, load it in the dumpsters. We'll have a crew member there to kind of direct and assist with that. I think that's all I have. Any questions? Thank you.
Kevin, I want to make mention. The amount of public forums that you guys have is just, it's beyond any city around here. The level of communication with our residents on what's going on in the city and how we're using tax dollars is extraordinary. And I am so proud of the department heads that go out of their way to spend time outside of work to meet with our residents and make them feel heard and made them feel cared about. It is so extremely appreciated. I mean, the care that you and Peter and Peter's family took for the Woodland Hills, I mean, 60 residents, 60 households received notices in the pouring rain on Friday. And this is not anything that was planned. It was put together quite quickly and executed to perfection. So I just have to continually commend our team for always going above and beyond. You provide an extremely professional level of service, and I am greatly appreciative. All right. Yeah.
So I pulled up the minutes from the last council meeting, not the last caucus meeting.
Yeah.
And the special meeting is on November 19th at 5:30 with the caucus meeting to follow.
Ew, why did we do that?
I don't know.
That just doesn't make sense. Let's change it. Do we want to have a 5:30 and then come back for a 7?
We'll make it 6 then.
What?
Can we do that? I mean, that way it's like back to back, right? Is the caucus by statute required to be at 7 o'clock?
Well, you have it in your ordinance that it's at 7. I don't think there would be a problem with it starting late. I think there would only be a problem if it started early. So.
Follow-up. Is this for the second reading of the budget amendment? Is that the only item on the agenda?
Probably, and that might be why we...
Can we do it at 6:45?
Yes, absolutely.
6:45? And then the caucus at 7?
Is that what you want? Is it the 19th is okay? Okay.
So no meeting on the 12th?
I'm going to remove it right now.
I mean, does it matter if we've already approved the minutes?
No, you can change it. I mean, it's going to be a special meeting anyway. That's going to have to be posted as a special meeting.
Yeah, because the mayor had it 6:45. All right. Locked in now. It's in the calendar. That means it exists. All right. Any other department heads that want to provide a report? Oh, goodness. So many hands. Go for
It's
it.
rare, but I just wanted to first, and he took off, Battalion Chief Brinkman and his team. I want to thank them for the effort that they put in for the grant writing. He oversees our grant writing team, and they received 2 awards for grants. One was the AFG grant, and it was around $60,000. That's the one we got a 5% responsibility to, and then the Norfolk Southern grant for just over $12,000. So with the AFG grant, we're getting hose and nozzles, and then the Norfolk Southern grant, we're going to get new thermal imaging cameras. And then the last thing is I want to give a shout out to Mark on the press release for today. Thank you for getting that out. Sorry about short notice, but one of our team members is going down to North Carolina, Tennessee border, and he's wanted to see if we could get some donations together that he could take down with him. So they're going to be taking donations tomorrow and Thursday, and then he leaves, I believe, on Friday or Saturday to head down there. That is all I have, unless anybody has anything for me.
I was just going to say the city auditors will be here October 30th through the 1st, and then we'll have actual numbers for fiscal year 24 at our December meeting.
And I bet nobody knows what I'm going to talk about. The snake. Everybody's seen it on the news. It's been beat to death. It's everywhere. I just want to be crystal clear with everyone. People think that there's like some hidden agenda, that we really have other information. We really have not ever seen a snake. This complaint came from a person that lives on rigs. He claims that he has seen the snake, the reptile expert, if you will. She came out, she looked at it, she said, could be other things. Every time that we feel like we're putting it to bed, she comes out and sees something else, and she's like, well, just enough that I don't want to say there isn't a snake. So, we have not seen a snake. Nobody needs to be, on level 10 alert looking around, but hopefully the next week or so we can put this to bed and let everybody know that we have searched high and low and there is no snake. So any questions? I know I've gotten a lot of inquiries about the snake from everywhere. So.
This is the most hilarious and terrifying story that has ever existed in the city of Erlanger. I am both laughing and terrified. We'll be all right, though.
Yeah, I mean, Assistant Chief and I went over one time and walked the property, and the rest of my patrols in the area have been from the seat of my car. I don't do snakes, so.
Who's that guy down in central Kentucky? Is it the, you know what I'm talking about?
Turtle Man?
Yes, Turtle Man. Yeah. Maybe we need to invite Turtle Man to do an episode.
Maybe.
Are they really going to use a chicken? Or were you just messing with me?
I don't know.
Oh, gosh. Okay. We don't need to know. Yes?
I was just going to say, on that note, there used to be a rooster that lived at the top of Anger Court.
It's gone.
So, I mean, obviously the snake ate it.
Used to is the key word. There's no baby deer either, or turtles or frogs.
Thanks for keeping us updated. That is my neck of the woods, so I'm not really believing it, but I'm still watching out when I step in my driveway in the mornings in the
But
dark.
are you missing a snake?
No, but thank you for the updates.
Oh, gosh. All right. That it? You good? All right. Are there any reports from task force representatives this evening? Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to remind everyone of the City Beautification Task Force. The next meeting will be Tuesday, October 15th at 5 p.m. right here, but in the small council chambers. And I wanted to also thank Public Works for what you're putting together for Arbor Day. Last year it was fabulous, so anybody that missed it, you will not want to miss this week. And it looks like with the rain, it'll be easier to plant. So we'll see everybody on Saturday. Thank you.
All right. We have one bid on the agenda this evening, surplus property for the online auction.
Thank you, Mayor. Public Works had sent 3 pieces of equipment and vehicles to J.J. Kane for the auction. We had a 2011 Silverado with plow and salt spreader that sold for $13,500. We also had a John Deere riding mower that sold for $3,750, and a turf tracer mower that sold for $700, for a total of $17,950 at auction. So that's all. Any questions? Thank you.
All right. Does anybody have any unfinished business? Any new business? Okay. All right, legislation.
This is an ordinance of the City of Erlanger in Kenton County, Kentucky, amending Erlanger Ordinance Number 2574, and the budget adopted thereby for the City of Erlanger for the fiscal year beginning on July 1, 2024, and ending on June 30th, 2025. This was discussed at the caucus meeting, and is as attached. You can see the yellow highlighted items are the items that are changing. And what is struck through is, what is struck through is what is being changed to the item that is in the yellow highlighted. And there is also a memo attached that discusses this budget amendment. This is just a first reading.
All right, thank you. Note in the minutes the first reading of this ordinance. All right, any announcements this evening? Mr. Cahill.
Yes, the Kenton County Rotary is looking to have a candidate forum this year, and Matt Grimes will be arranging that. So I'm going to send his phone number to everybody, and he'd like them to just contact him to see if they have an interest in that. Thank you.
And the candidate forum, the date has been selected, and it's going to be in council chambers. The auditorium at Lloyd was unavailable. So it is going to be October 16th, and it will begin at 7 p.m. All right. Any other announcements this evening? Okay, do I entertain a motion that we adjourn? Ms. Kyle, Ms. Reckers, any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Have a